Don't act like you're busy. Be busy. Be busy. You can be invested in someone, but don't ever put in 100%. I don't need to be in front of everyone. Sometimes you need to be a little bit mean. Being mean is okay. I don't need to be in rooms full of people because I alone am special. I alone am the room full of people. You need to learn how to be more strict with yourself. Hello, hi, my name is Bentina, and recently someone just said that I am like the internet big sis, so I'm gonna roll with that because I actually am a big sister in real life, so I'm gonna roll with that. So I am your internet big sister, and today we are talking about what happens when you become too accessible. We're gonna cover the signs that tell you that you just might be too accessible to people and why this might be a problem, and steps to regain your control and live your life on easy mode. So enough with the intro, let's get into it. So today's video, we're going to talk about being too accessible and the signs that might just tell you like, too many people have access to me and I need to tighten up, basically like that is why we're here today, because I know for me, being too accessible has always been like a struggle for me in the past. I feel like I was a people pleaser for so long, from like childhood, right? It's taken me up until right now to really just like stop people pleasing and start putting myself first and stop being so accessible, especially if you know that you are a unique person and you know that you shouldn't be easily accessible to just anyone. You know that, right? You know that. And that's why you clicked on this. And that's why you want to learn how to become less accessible to people. So small signs that you are actually too accessible could be like you feel the need to answer people when they call you, when they text you, or when they want to, do something or have you do something for them. You feel almost guilty and obligated to do this thing for the other person, but you have to grow out of that. You have to grow out of people pleasing. I know people pleasing is such a annoying thing to struggle with, especially like when you are a woman. And women, like I said in the last episode, women are very caring, and we are just caring people inside. We just always care and care and care. But as women, we need to learn to not care so much about how other people are going to perceive us and how other people rely on us. We can't always be the person that people rely on, because that gets exhausting. That just adds on to the stress of life that we already go through. We don't need more stress. So being a people pleaser really ties in with how you see yourself and how you respect yourself as a whole, right? I'm still working on this. I mean, I feel like as a recovered people pleaser, you continue to work on it. You don't ever fix it and you're good to go. It's a constant battle. When you are a people pleaser, you are always answering calls, always answering texts, and you're, trying to please the other person. Maybe you are ignoring red flags and, you're just letting things go under the rug because you want that other person to not feel judged, one, or you want to be accepted by them. So you just go along with whatever they're doing. And those are signs that you are a people pleaser. And that goes into being too accessible. You need to break out of feeling like you need to respond to that text and you need to call that person back immediately. You need to break out of that because you need to start putting yourself first. Once you put yourself first and once you keep yourself occupied, you no longer feel nervous when someone is texting you, or maybe you're waiting for a text. You no longer feel nervous about these things, right? When you start being more secure within yourself, when you realize that, hey, I'm special, I'm unique, and I have like this power within me that I don't need to be in rooms full of people because I alone am special. I alone am the room full of people. I have the aura that holds, let's say like this. If you're a person that walks into a room and you light up that room and you can tell that you light up that room, you are then exposed to becoming too accessible, because then everybody wants a piece of you, right? Everyone wants to be your friend. Everyone wants to be your, everyone wants to date you. Everyone wants to be your friend, etc. So then you become exposed to becoming too accessible. And then another trait that might tell you that you are too accessible is that you say yes to everything. Or say someone invites you somewhere out, or say, Someone wants you to do this errand for them, but you have work to do, but you still say yes, right? Because you care about this other person, because you don't want to let them down, because you don't want to be seen as this mean person. But sometimes you need to be mean. Sometimes you need to be a little bit mean. Being mean is okay. You don't need to be nice all the time, because being nice really just gets you nowhere. Take it from me, in my experience, being nice has never really gotten me very far. And it's now that I've set boundaries that I've learned that I don't need to be in front of everyone. This is why my circle is small right now. Even now, I only have like maybe 3 or 4 friends. And I'm happy with that. I don't need anybody else. I don't need a big group of people, because I feel like big groups of people, especially the wrong type of people in your circle, can really lead to self-destruction and kind of lead you to a path that you don't want to be. And when you know that you cannot be in everybody's face in every room that you walk into and be in every room that everyone is in, you quickly learn to take yourself out of certain situations and just, keep to yourself. And the problem with being too accessible is that you end up burning yourself out because you've said yes to everything. And now your body or your mind is physically burnt out. And now you feel drained, you feel resentful. And this is all because you've disconnected from your own needs. I found that in the past, when I was too accessible, that I completely forgot about my own goals, my own dreams, my own priorities. And I completely put my focus on the next person, whereas that person probably didn't do the same thing, or they did much less than I did, right? So I ended up losing in every single situation. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you have a good heart in the end. People will use you if they can, right? So learn to pull back. You can be invested in someone, but don't ever put in 100%. Don't ever put in 100%. I always say put in at least 95%, 99%, never 100%. 100% means you've dedicated your whole entire being and self to the other person. And now when things go left, you are out of luck. You're left with nothing and you're back to square one. So always put yourself first. Always prioritize your dreams, your goals. Always prioritize yourself, even in a partnership, even in a friendship. Always have your own personality, your own goals, your own life, Have your own life. Don't ever get too caught up in somebody else's life because you want to feel close to them. So how do you reclaim your power? You can just start by saying no. When people ask you to do something, just say no. Just say no. I know it might hurt you at first, but once you start saying no to people, or simply, I don't condone ignoring people, but once you start giving off the vibe that you're not always, accessible, not always available, people will start catching on and understanding that you're not one to play with. You're not one to, your time is valuable. You're someone who is busy and someone who has a full life. Once you start putting boundaries and just start by saying no. And then I'm going to circle back on prioritizing yourself, because I believe that you should always, and I'm going to say this again and again and again until it gets stuck in your head, please put yourself first. I know growing up, my mother even told me this, put yourself first. She said, never rely on anybody. Prioritize yourself first. Keep your schedule busy. Keep yourself busy. Don't act like you're busy. Be busy. Be busy. So then you have no other excuse but to be inaccessible to people, because you are busy, because you have things to do, because you are prioritizing yourself, because you are putting yourself first. Don't pretend to be busy. Don't pretend to be busy. Actually be busy. Actually fill your life up with things that you want to do and accomplish and your goals. Be busy. Because then people will catch on that you are no longer accessible. You were created in a very unique way, and you need to recognize that you hold such a powerful aura and such a powerful spirit about yourself that you cannot be accessible to anyone. Once you become too accessible, you start to diminish your own light. You start to diminish your uniqueness. You start to become common. You start to become common and you start to become like everyone else. And I'm sure if you resonate with anything that I say, you are a very unique person and you know deep down that you are not like everyone else. So that is all I have for today's episode. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Listen to the podcast on Spotify and podcast, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.